The most important museums of Amsterdam are located on the Museumplein. Museum Square, located at the southwestern side of the Rijksmuseum. It was created in the last quarter of the 19th century on the grounds of the former World's Fair. The northeastern part of the square is bordered by the large Rijksmuseum. In front of the Rijksmuseum on the square itself is a long, rectangular pond. This is transformed into an ice rink in winter. The northwestern part of the square is bordered by the Van Gogh Museum, House of Bowls Cocktail and Geneva Experience and Costa Diamonds. The southwestern border of the museum square is the Van Baelstraat, which is a major thoroughfare in this part of Amsterdam. The Concertgebouw is located across this street from the square. To the southeast of the square are several large houses, one of which contains the American consulate. A parking garage can be found underneath the square, as well as a supermarket. The Museumplein is covered almost entirely with a lawn, except for the northeastern part of the square, which is covered with gravel. The current appearance of the square was realized in 1999, when the square was remodeled. The square itself is the most prominent site in Amsterdam for festivals and outdoor concerts, especially in the summer. Plans were made in 2008 to remodel the square again because many inhabitants of Amsterdam are not happy with its current appearance. Quote, the Rijksmuseumcode, NLD promoted to Code. NI possesses the largest and most important collection of classical Dutch art. It opened in 1885. Its collection consists of nearly 1 million objects. The artist most associated with Amsterdam is Rembrandt, whose work, and the work of his pupils, is displayed in the Rijksmuseum. Rembrandt's masterpiece The Night Watch is one of the top pieces of art of the museum. It also houses paintings from artists like Bartholomeus van der Helst, Johannes Vermeer, Frans Hals, Ferdinand Bol, Albert Kuip, Jacob van Ruysdael and Paulus Potter. Aside from paintings, the collection consists of a large variety of decorative art. This ranges from Delftware to giant dollhouses from the 17th century. The architect of the Gothic Revival building was P. J. H. Cuypers. The museum underwent a 10-year, €375 million renovation starting in 2003. The full collection was reopened to the public on 13 April 2013 and the Rijksmuseum has remained the most visited museum in Amsterdam with 2 million visitors in 2016 and 2.16 million in 2017. Van Gogh lived in Amsterdam for a short while and there is a museum dedicated to his work. The museum is housed in one of the few modern buildings in this area of Amsterdam. The building was designed by Gerrit Rietveld. This building is where the permanent collection is displayed. A new building was added to the museum in 1999. This building, known as the Performance Wing, was designed by Japanese architect Kisho Kurokawa. Its purpose is to house temporary exhibitions of the museum. Some of Van Gogh's most famous paintings, like the Potato Eaters and Sunflowers, are in the collection. The Van Gogh Museum is the second most visited museum in Amsterdam, not far behind the Rijksmuseum in terms of the number of visits, being approximately 2.1 million in 2016. For example, next to the Van Gogh Museum stands the Stedelijk Museum. This is Amsterdam's most important museum of modern art. The museum is as old as the square it borders and was opened in 1895. The permanent collection consists of works of art from artists like Piet Mondrian, Karel Appel, and Kazimir Malevich. After renovations lasting several years, the museum opened in September 2012 with a new composite extension that has been called the bathtub. due to its resemblance to one. Quote, Amsterdam contains many other museums throughout the city. They range from small museums such as the Verzetmuseum, Resistance Museum, the Anne Frank House, and the Rembrandt House Museum, to the very large, like the Tropenmuseum, Museum of the Tropics, Amsterdam Museum, formerly known as Amsterdam Historical Museum, Hermitage Amsterdam, a dependency of the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, and the Jude's Historisch Museum, Jewish Historical Museum. The modern-styled Nemo is dedicated to child-friendly science exhibitions.